Well, good morning, everybody. This is Dave from Dave's Raised Bed Garden. I'm actually in the house today. Today is Monday, February the 28th, 2022. This is the last day of February and March is just getting started. And what's exciting about March is that, especially for our gardeners in my area, is that on March the 3rd is actually the first day that we can start planting our cool weather plants. Yes, our early season is just getting ready to begin. And I'm excited that this time has come on. I'm ready to start gardening. We've had a cold. It was kind of, up and down winter and everything. And I'm just excited to see what this year is going to bring for me. But the reason I'm inside is that in my last video and then several other videos, I had talked about an app that I use, an app that I really enjoy using. And the app is called From Seed to Spoon. You can actually get it on the App Store. It's free. It takes less than a minute to download. And this app is very beneficial, especially for you new gardeners, especially for people that maybe are coming from traditional gardening and then doing container gardening or raised bed gardening, but also for anybody that's been gardening for a while. This is a good source of information. I know last year I had a situation where there was a new pest that I hadn't seen before. I actually looked in that app and there it was, and it gave me information what to do. I actually sought help from a local center that I use up here, Southern States. They gave me the information, they gave me what I needed, and I was able to take care of that problem that I was having last year. So this app is very, very beneficial. It gives you a lot of information, a lot of resources. And so I want to share this with you. I want to be able to help other people just like myself to be able to use resources to make their gardening experience the best that it can be. And then also a learning process to where your gardening experience just becomes even more, that you'll share it with other people too. So I'm going to take my camera, I'm going to turn it around, and let's get started. And I want to show you this wonderful app that I'm talking about. So here's the actual app. I've actually downloaded it to the tablet, and this is the actual app that I use, that I have it uploaded on my phone. I started using this app last year in the beginning of the season. I really enjoy looking at this app. It gives a lot of information, and like I said, this is what you'll see when you go in the App Store. This little icon is that From Seed to Spoon. It is a free app. It doesn't take but just not even under a minute to download. It's an easy app to use. You can use it'll give you the questions, or your phone may ask you if you want to allow it to have access to your phone. I do, because simply is that if you don't do that, you have to add your information, which is your zip code and everything. And if you don't want to do that, you just have to add the information that you need and then apply it, and then it'll look your region up, and then it'll give you the information that you need. You'll notice that it shows down here a lot of little things that it has. You can view the plants by their health benefits. Over on the left side of the screen, you will notice that this is where your vegetables, your plants, your flowers, and so forth are listed. When you go in, it'll give you a variance of what you're looking at. If you see in the red, it's a warm weather plant. You also have perennials. You have a cool weather plant, and that's what I'm getting ready to start planting. So I go into it. So being that it's a cool weather plant that I'm getting ready to go into, I'm actually going to look at broccoli. When I tap on it, it's going to go into this screen. It's going to give me a lot of information. It gives me a list at the top that I can check out on each one of the details, the types, the friends, the pests, and then more options too. What I can do is that I can scroll down. It gives me a list, basically gives me a description about growing broccoli. Also, it gives me the planting or the spring planting dates. Also, it does the fall. So what it does is it gives me the beginning to the end based on like seeds, and then also outdoor planting is that, which March the 3rd is coming up for my region, which you'll notice it down here underneath where it says the date for Tobaccoville, North Carolina. That's the region or the zone or the area that I live in. And so it gives me other options too. It gives me the summer planting and then also the fall planting. What it does is it gives me those times to begin that time based on the growth and the time of those plants. If you'll notice down as I go down further, it tells me it is a cool weather plant. It survives hard freeze. But then the interesting things that I look at is that over here on the left is that it says in the green, it gives me, because I am doing raised bed gardening, and that is a container type, it gives me the list of how many plants or how many seeds that I can put in a square foot. I actually talked about this last year about square foot gardening and what you can do. It also goes in hand with companion gardening. Also, it tells me what a container, what I can do. It gives me from the actual to sprout to harvest for 80 to 90 days. Also remember, when they're talking about sprout, that's when it cuts through the ground or breaks through the ground. You have to you have to add on for how much time it says for your seeding. There's a time of germination that it takes too, and it also gives you information. It tells me about full sun, what the water requirements, and so forth. Down here, it gives me the actual, as far as the transplant, it lets me know that I need to plant it 1/4 inch, and then it gives me the the days to sprout and so forth are 4 to 10. And then it lets me know the distance and everything. So this app gives me so much information that I really like. I can come up here and I can hit types. And when I do types, it gives me all different types of broccoli. Maybe there's some things that I'm looking at, and there's so many different types that I can look at. It tells me the friends. This is based on if I'm doing companion gardening. All this list is that this is actual vegetables or even flowers that I can plant within the same bed or the same area as the broccoli. The other thing that it gives me is the pest. This is what I really like, because there's a lot of times that I see, and what I do is that what I have to look at, and then it gives me an area of what I do. This little one that just says the cabbage worms, this little culprit, that little white butterfly, was actually a havoc thing that I had, and I actually shared a video about putting netting over top of these plants. They lay larvae and those eggs, and when you flip the leaves over, it is just, you have so many of them. So, and it shows me all of these predators or different things that come at it and so forth, and it gives me that as far as for the pests. So that's what I like about this web page, or this app, is that I'm able to have it easy access on my phone. I'm able to use it, and it's something that I can use on a daily basis. So I recommend that if you're getting into gardening of any type, I recommend, especially for vegetation or for vegetables, is check out this website, From Seed to Spoon. So friends, I hope this little bit of information that I've been able to give you about this app that I'm using and everything will be both beneficial and helpful to you. I hope that you'll be able to use it, and if something of interest that you'll have, and then maybe you'll be able to take from this and be able to use this in your gardening experience as you progress, or even if you get started in gardening. I love doing what I do. I love being outside. I love being in the garden. And I'm so glad that I was given the information that I was to be able to find out about this app, because this app has really, really helped me a lot. And so I want to share with you as it was shared to me also. My tongue is not seeing what my brain is trying to say. But anyway, I just want to give this information out to you. And I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart of being part of Dave's Raised Bed Garden. It means so much to me, and I'm just thankful to be able to share these videos with you and to share these ideas that I have, and I just thank you again for being a part of this journey that I'm on. So from Dave at Dave's Raised Bed Garden, until next time, take care.